I have put these screws onto my coils, but they are attracting my magnets so strongly that I'm not able to put the plate onto that place, and it's ridiculous. They're sticking onto it so strongly that I cannot hold the plate in place. Therefore I'm removing these screws, and I'm going to again tie it with some non-metallic object. Hello people, this is Naeem again. As you can see, this is my older rotor that I used and made the alternator. It worked really fine. I have updated my stator. Let me show it to you. This is my updated stator. I have found a thicker piece of wood. You see, it's a bit thicker and it's firm. Lastly, I was using a very thin piece of wood that was a plywood, so it was not sufficient to hold the coils in place firmly. Now I've got this thicker piece of wood, and I've fixed 15 coils in star configuration. I'm using these power transistors 2SD1047 as my rectification diodes. I have used the base and the collector as a diode, and I have a series of two diodes pointing at one direction. This is the negative pole, and this is where I get the positive from the collector. And I'm at no load. The alternator produces about 30 to 32 volts, while on load, when it is connected to a 12-volt battery, it gives me quite a good amount of amps, about 3 amps at 12 volt. So it's good, it works, but I intend to increase the power. To increase the power, let me tell you, this is something I came across when I did these experiments. Before that, I was reading it theoretically, but until or unless you do it practically, you won't get this thing. It's pretty expensive to go on, because I spent so much money, and I came across this fact that when you want to increase the power, you have to increase the number of turns. Two ways to increase the power. One is to increase the voltage, other is to increase the amps. To increase the voltage, you have to increase the number of turns per coil, so the voltage will increase. And to increase the amps, you have to go for a thicker wire. This is 19 SWG. If you want to go for higher power, and that's what I'm intending to do next, I'll be using 18 SWG or maybe 17 or 16. I haven't figured it out yet. I'll do some math. But when you increase the number of turns, the size of the coil increases. So when it increases, it cannot fit into this place. You need to have a bigger diameter. This diameter is then not sufficient. Then you have to have a bigger diameter. Let us suppose here, this much bigger diameter. For bigger diameter, my rotor, this rotor is not big enough. You see, as I have mentioned earlier, it's a bicycle wheel. You can see at the back, it's a bicycle wheel. So what I did was, yesterday I went to the market and I bought this bigger size of wheel. You see, this one's a little bigger than this one. Whoa, magnets were attracting it. So it's a bigger diameter wheel, and I'm intending to fix the magnets on it. But to fix the magnets on it, only this wheel is not sufficient. I have to have a metal plate at the back. In my previous posts, you must have learned, and as I've mentioned, that having a metal plate at the back strengthens the magnetic field, and the flux is so strong. The output of the alternator increases this way. So I got this metal plate. Yesterday I bought it. These days the raw materials like metal and things, these are very much expensive. I bought it for about 300 rupees, and now I have figured a way to make a circle. I'm sure you'll be able to see the circle that I've made by the help of this ruler. I have a ruler, and I made a small hole in it, and then by using this marker I draw a circle. Now I have to cut it two ways. I can either use a scissor, a bigger size scissor, but that will take me hours. That will really take hours for me to cut it, and it's going to be very much it will be very difficult to do it with this small scissor. I mean, it's really very much difficult. So what I'll be using will be an angle grinder. I have an angle grinder, and I'll be using my expert hand. This is my, this is my junkyard. This is I mean, for some people, they might say that this is useful stuff, but for me, it's a treasure. I mean, I have a whole lot of things hanging all around. This is the first time I'm showing you my tool grade and everything. So I have so many things laying here and there. They're useless, but for me, it's a big treasure. Even a single bolt that is laying here is a big treasure for me. So this is an angle grinder I'm going to be using, and this cutter this is not a cutter, it's a grinder. I have a cutter right here. Its blade is a lot thinner, and it could be used as cutter. Here I bought this one a few days back, and it's good to go. So I'll be cutting it like this, and so on. I'll be using my expertise. I mean, it's really difficult to do it with an angle grinder, but you have to have a little bit of experience of cutting metals with the help of it. So you can feel the strength that the cutter applies when it's cutting, and you have to have an experience to hold the cutter in line or to the place where you want to have the cut. So thanks for watching my video. I'll be posting more in pursuit of this thing, in pursuit of making this alternator. Thank you very much for watching my video. This is Naeem from Peshawar, Pakistan. Number editing coalition. No, that's okay. It's working now. Here I have set up to start angle grinding this piece of metal. See, I just wanted to show the viewers a little bit of what I'm doing right now. It's a bit tricky to hold the iron plate and everything, and then to cut it, because this angle grinder, it has its own force. It tries to divert your hands to work and takes you away from the line of cutting. So you have to have a firm grip to do this cutting. I have broken my glasses, so I'm using sunglasses. I hope something might not get into my eyes. It's a bit dangerous, but hey, what the hell? Life is a danger. Life is all full of dangers. Okay, here we go. Okay. The trick is to first weaken it. First, the trick is to make it weaken it. If you go down all the way, then it's going to start sticking into it, and it will disturb the angle of cutting. So first weaken it, just run it along the length of the line that you have already drawn, and when it gets weakened, the grinder will tend to stick into that line and it will not go away from the line. So that is the basic technique while cutting the metal with an angle grinder, according to the lines that you have drawn. Thank you very much for watching my video. I am Naeem from Peshawar, Pakistan. Okay guys, this is my entire day's fruit. I have done it. I have fixed the larger metal plate and the larger wheel. Let me show you at the back. This is the larger wheel, and I don't know if you're able to see, this larger wheel is connected with the help of these screws, and it's so much balanced. I mean, it's rotating. You can see it's completely rotating, and it's very good. There's one more thing I have done. I have also increased the size of the magnets. You see, now each magnet is of the larger size. The diameter is greater, so that will be, it means that I'll be having enough room for bigger coils. We can, I mean, now 6 mm width coils could be fitted. It's up and running, and it is so smooth. When it starts running, it keeps on spinning for 3 to 3.5 minutes. I mean, it's beautiful. I'll keep you all posted for the next development. Thank you for watching my video.